Let's talk about the iPhone 15s and its exclusive colors, and I also have the iPhone 15 body right here on my hands. So this is what manufacturers use to produce their upcoming cases, like this one from Benkix. I believe that's how you pronounce it. This is their newly designed case for the upcoming iPhone 15 Pros. And yes, this is a dummy case, and this is called a case. And this is typically what manufacturers will get their hands on to actually produce their upcoming cases for the next generation of iPhones. And I have an iPhone 14 Pro right here, and we compared the two side by side. They're almost identical. Just however, I have noticed that the camera housing is slightly more curvier, and the placement on the buttons are slightly different. So it's hard to tell, but it does look like the volume, the vibration switch is no longer a switch, and actually it will be a physical button, just like these volume rockers. And on the opposite side, if we take a closer look, the volume button does look like it's similarly placed, but if we actually take the iPhone 15 case right now and we place it on the iPhone 14 Pro, I'm sorry, this is the iPhone 15 Pro case, it doesn't fit. But when we put it in this one, it snaps in place extremely well. So what is the problem? Well, unfortunately, if you have an iPhone 14 Pro and you're planning on upgrading to the iPhone 15 Pro, the case is not gonna fit. So I don't know why Apple constantly does this to the point where you cannot use your old cases from your previous iPhone to the next generation. They did this a couple of times, like the iPhone 10 and 10s, you were able to transfer case over, but now they slightly moved the power button, because when we stack it side by side, it's hard to tell on camera, but it is slightly lower. Same applies for the volume, so that's a little bit disappointing. But the USB-C port that's rumored to come out is slightly bigger, supporting that the iPhone 15 will indeed have USB-C. But aside from bezel size, this has a 6.1-inch display, and this is the Pro model of the iPhone 15 Pro, as you can see on the text on top. Screen size looks extremely similar, so I don't think the iPhone Pro lineup will actually feature thinner bezels than ever before, as dimensions look almost identical. This is Benkix upcoming accessories for the iPhone 15. They proudly just send this out for us to check out and see firsthand how the iPhone 15 Pro will actually come out and look like. This is their more fully protective but features the same carbon fiber pattern designed for the iPhone 15 Pros, MagSafe supportive, and it simply just slides into place. This one has full bumper protection, pretty thin, and this also supports that we're not going to have a slider for our iPhone. As you can see, it's going to be a physical button, and it's going to probably mimic this, so it will have like an orange texture like what the Apple Watch Ultra has on the side right here. So this silent button will be the action button, and it will be reprogrammable, which is kind of interesting. So there's your first-hand look of the iPhone 15 Pro in a nutshell. But now let's talk about its colors, because we got more supported information and more consistent color accuracy on what the iPhone 15 Pro lineup colors are going to look like, as well as the iPhone 15 and the 15 Plus. Because unfortunately, if you love the gold color, it doesn't look like it's going to be coming out for the iPhone Pros. The gold color looks to be discontinued and will be replaced with a titanium color. Of course, we're still going to have a black, space black, and then there'll also be a space blue or a dark blue color, as well as a silver gray color. Feel free to pause, but this is the latest information about the iPhone 14 Pro colors that's coming out. And gold doesn't look to be a part of this list, so it's probably going to be discontinued. And that product red iPhone 15 Pro image that's been coming all over the internet doesn't look like it's going to be coming out for this September event. What may possibly happen, because we had a similar experience with the iPhone 13 Pros, where a dark green color was constantly rumored and even leaked, as a piece of glass was leaked on the internet of an iPhone 13 Pro featuring this dark green color, which later on coming out on the spring after the iPhone 13 Pro was released. So a product red may be released during the springtime, during Apple's spring keynote. WWDC, I believe it is, not the actual debut keynote, but we may see a product red edition coming out later on after the iPhone 15s get released. But yeah, looks like a titanium, space black, silver, gray color, and a dark blue. It's coming out for the iPhone 15 Pros. Now, as for the iPhone 15 and the 15 Plus, we did get more information revolving around its colors. We knew that an orange color was coming out, but it looks to be a more soft coral-like color. So there's going to be a black color, a mint gray color, a coral orange, and a light baby blue, and then of course the light pink and a yellow color of the current iPhone 15s, which honestly kind of reminds me a lot like what the colors we seen was the iPhone 5C, if you guys remember those. It gives me that same vibe, and I think that's what Apple might be doing, releasing these colors for the more affordable iPhone color options. Which, fun fact, you can actually buy the iPhone 5C right now for just under $100, $69 on Walmart. So if you like to collect them, yeah, go ahead. I think it'll be a really unique collection. iPhone 5C vibes I'm getting from these upcoming iPhone 15 colors. Now, if you're still skeptical, saying to yourself that USB-C isn't going to come out for the iPhones, well, there's more support proving that it will come out. So images were also leaked showing different colors on the USB-C cables. Just like what Apple does with their Apple computers, they have the power adapter color match the body color of your computer. So these USB-C cables are color matched to those leak images of the upcoming iPhone colors. So even more support of these upcoming iPhone colors and the fact that USB-C is coming towards iPhones. Now, data speed is a debate, but a lot of people are saying it should follow the same data speed that we typically expect to find on the iPad Pro lineup. If I could grab it, there we go. The iPhone Pro lineup, so it should be pretty quick. And then of course the standard 15 iPhones will feature the standard USB-C transfer rate, so Thunderbolt 3 or 4 possibly on the iPhone 15 Pros, and standard USB data speed on the iPhone 15s, which still isn't a bad deal. Now, more leaks and inside sources say that a new iPhone case is also coming out during the release of these upcoming iPhones, as there will now be a new vegan leather option. And this is no surprise because this is something that manufacturers have been doing for years now. Tesla's been using vegan leather for quite a while, but then you also have high-end vehicles like Porsche, Mercedes. So the vegan leather should be on par to standard leather quality. And knowing Apple, they're always on top of their game in terms of like build quality. Now, no official date on the release of the keynote for Apple, but a lot of people are still saying September 12th. And if this is true, we have had September 12th events from Apple a couple of times already. And a common trend is that invitations will be sent out on August 30th. So just wait a couple more days. If we see those invitations get released on August 30th, then yes, September 12th is indeed the date for the unveil of Apple's next generation of products, including the Apple Watch Ultra 2, which I cover more in detail over here. Aside from that, other Apple news we should talk about is if you're planning on buying an iPad Pro anytime soon, wait. Because the next generation of iPad Pros will be released on next year for 2024, probably sometime during the springtime, with that product red iPhone. And it received some very impressive updates, including an OLED display for the first time on any iPad. And if you use OLEDs in the past, the image quality, the dark pixels make any viewing experience pleasant. So if it does feature an OLED, that iPad will definitely be a game changer. Now, in other news, iPadOS 17 is said to be able to allow your iPad to be used as a display for anything. So if you can right now, something tells me these like USB-C to HDMI capture cards are going to be really hard to get. So pick one of these up right now, because later on in the near future, you'll be able to stream your Nintendo Switch or any computer. It doesn't have to be a Mac. And by simply plugging it into the universal USB-C port, this HDMI port right here on your iPad will allow you to actually display anything you plug into this on the high resolution iPad displays. This includes the iPad mini as well, and the iPad Airs, of course. So this will allow you to actually plug in like your game consoles or anything that uses an HDMI port, and you'll be able to display it with a third-party app on your iPad and literally use it as a high-end, very high resolution portable monitor for all purposes, not just for your Mac computers. Again, this feature is coming out for iPadOS 17, so pick these things up, because something tells me once that is released, these capture cards are going to be so hard and high demand, and it's going to be challenging to actually get your hands on. So get it now before it's too late. And these apps are going to be free too, that will allow you to actually support your iPad to be used as a display. I'll go more into detail when that gets released, so definitely do subscribe so you don't miss that upcoming video. But other than that, that's the latest news on the iPhone 15 and some bonuses of the iPad information and other stuff that's going around the news right now for this upcoming iPhone keynote. If you enjoyed, like. If you have something to share, like what iPhone preference you're going to go ahead and get, feel free to comment down below. And if you have any questions, comment as well, because I'll be down there in the comment section for the first few hours. Thanks so much for watching.